So we're going to talk to you about your profile picture and your headline. And the reason that these two are super important is because this is your first impression on LinkedIn. So everyone knows how important first impressions are. And honestly, you want to make a splash. So you don't want to, the big thing is you don't just want to be written up. So if you have a crazy picture, like Eric has some examples of what you shouldn't do.
Like Justin was saying, when someone scrolls to your page, you only get one chance to make an impression through your picture and your headline. And speaking of your profile picture, you don't want silly stuff in there like a picture of your cat or a picture of you staring at your shoes, or it's got to be you. This whole LinkedIn thing is the brand of you. Even if you work for a company and you're happy in your position, and you're looking for promotion, that's the brand of you. If you're trying to find a new position, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a creative, it's all about the brand of you, and you want that first picture, that first impression to be something captivating. And then along with the headline. And Ryan, I think you're really good at a lot of the picture stuff, so maybe you can give these guys some tips on what kind of pictures to post as your profile picture.
Yeah, just as a quick overview from the photo standpoint, the one thing I would recommend is try not to go selfie mode on the photo. Reason being is, and I know I've had a photography background for a long time, but you want to be authentic on LinkedIn. The first thing that people are going to see is your photo. I have this little funny saying and trick where I think you give me someone's photo on LinkedIn and I can pretty much tell you their life story within 5 minutes. I'm almost 100% accurate on that, to be honest, but we'll get into that another time. But honestly, there's a picture's worth 1,000 words. That's pretty cliche, but it's so true. You don't want someone feeling like you get the triple chin going, everything, and you're trying to like get the selfie mode going. Just ask a friend to take the photo, get good lighting. We'll get into that later, even in the video section. But you just need to make sure that photo tells your story. It's really you, and you don't look 100 pounds lighter or 100 pounds heavier in the photo, and someone meets you, they don't understand. They're like, who is this? Because you've got all these Snapchat filters or whatever going on. So.
And speaking of you don't have to have professional photography equipment. Mm-hmm. You can use the phone that's in your pocket, but have somebody do it for you. A lot of these new iPhones and these Samsungs or whatever have portrait modes to kind of create that depth effect or that blur. You can use that because it's at a small scale.
For sure.
It'll look okay. It's just have that professional looking headshot to kind of bring people's attention to you so they read your headline, which we'll talk about next.
Yeah. Headline.
So the next thing is your headline, and just like your picture, it's the thing, like they'll look at that and they'll see what you actually do. And that tells a lot of people some information. It tells them what opportunities you might be good for, what history you might have, because they won't even see like your experience or your summary unless they actually are compelled to click on your profile.
For sure.
And so that's why the picture and the headline are so important. So when recruiters are searching for you, you want to use words that are actually searchable. You don't want to say, retail magician. Now that's fun, but if they're looking for a retail manager, they're not going to find you. So you don't want to cut yourself off like that.
Let's talk about titles. So you brought up a good point, titles. When you have your title, you said you want to be something that's searchable. I don't think you want to go in there overstate. I think people are in the habit of trying to make themselves more important than they really are, like CEO of the company of you. It sounds silly. So be professional, be realistic with your title. Like Justin said, don't use ninja or sorceress it's silly, right? Unless you've got a brand or a following that's outside of that. If you're new to LinkedIn or you're trying to leverage LinkedIn as a newcomer, these titles are important and you want something that's non-threatening.
Yeah, and I would say one other thing I want to add is that you want to remember that LinkedIn is not just like a digital Rolodex. You're not just gonna come here and put your resume out. Like one reason that you want to create a powerful profile is because you want to connect with actual human beings out there. So you can't just come to LinkedIn with a mentality that you're here and you filled out your experience section and just wait for stuff to happen. These are proactive things that you can do to attract attention. And your title, the other thing I want to say is that you don't want it to be threatening, which would be, these guys are sales guys. So sometimes if they're sending out requests, they might actually get their request denied. Whereas I come from the restaurant industry, so I'm selling sandwiches. Like no one thinks I'm threatening or gonna sell them anything. They probably want what I'm selling. But if you want to keep that in mind, if you're an insurance salesman, real estate sales, recruiting, actually people probably want recruiters.
Yeah,
added.
That's true.
But if you have a title that might be synonymous with getting pitches, and because a lot of times when people add a new person, they immediately get a sales pitch. So we're gonna get to that, but don't do that either.
Totally. And I would say last thing on the headline, You can craft that headline outside of your experience section. We'll get into experience later. If there's for me, Ryan from Detroit, you can hashtag that right in your headline as well. Really, for me, if you're going to use LinkedIn as a social platform, which is where we're all kind of going at the end of the day, personal branding, Eric was saying, we can get into that later, but you really want to make sure that you utilize that real estate to the best of your ability and for what you're after. And for me, it's building a personal brand, getting awareness on opportunities, and just trying to help people in general. So I put that hashtag front and center, and then I leave my title alone.
Beautiful.
All right, guys.
Cool.
See ya.